Causes of friction. Objective: to understand what causes friction. Friction is present when an object moves across a surface. Frictional force always opposes the motion between two surfaces in contact. Let's see what causes friction. Though the surface of all bodies looks smooth, they may not be perfectly smooth in reality. If you look at the surface of this table through this powerful magnifying glass, it has very small irregularities in the form of grooves and ridges. When an object like this block of wood is placed over the table, the irregularities interlocked. And if you give the block of wood a quick push, the block first slides, but gradually slows down to a stop. The motion of the wooden block stops due to the interlocking of the surface irregularities. The opposing force that stops the motion is frictional force. The rougher the surface, the more the frictional force. Here's a ball rolling on a smooth surface. We see that it travels a long distance before coming to rest. Now here's the same ball rolling on a rough surface. Surprisingly, it travels a very short distance. This happens because on a rough surface, the friction is more. And since friction stops motion, the ball slows down. Whereas on a smoother surface, the friction is less, and hence the ball travels a longer distance. Experiment to show that a smooth surface has less frictional force. Here are two identical wooden blocks, with a spring balance attached to the end of each block. One block is placed on a smooth surface and the other on a rough surface. Pull the two spring balances until they are just about to start. Note the readings on the spring balances. We see that the reading on the spring balance placed on the rough surface is more than the reading of the spring balance on the smooth surface. This proves that smoother surfaces have less frictional force. Friction depends on the pressure exerted. Friction also depends on how hard the two surfaces of any objects are pressed against each other. The harder you press or put weight on an object, the higher the frictional force exerted, as the interlocking of irregularities increases. To summarize, friction occurs due to the interlocking of irregularities on the surfaces. If the surfaces are rough and uneven, the friction is greater than if they were smooth. The friction is more when you press down hard or increase the pressure on any object.